Welcome back to On the Sideline. Thanks for joining me. I'm your host, Ki-Hoon Lee. In this week's show, we recap all the games from week 14 of the NFL season, discuss why I think the Colts are idiots for bringing Philip Rivers to their practice squad, why I think people need to pump the brakes on JJ McCarthy, and who's on this week's episode of Upset Alert by yours truly, Ki-Hoon Lee. That's all coming up right here, right now on the Sideline. So kicking off week number 14 of the NFL season, we got the Lions and the Cowboys, and this game was actually really fun to watch. I mean, you look at the Cowboys, Dak did whatever he could to help this team win the game. 376 yards, a touchdown, and two interceptions. He did have 5 sacks, which was kind of not good. The run game was non-existent with Javonte Williams for 67 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, even though he got hurt, had 121 yards receiving, but Ryan Floney also stepped up with 150 yards and a touchdown. And defensively, outside of James Houston, they couldn't do anything. As for the Lions, this was probably the Lions' best complete game of this season so far. I know the season's almost over, but still. You got Jared Goff going for 309 yards and a touchdown. David Montgomery had a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs once again had himself a day with 3 touchdowns. Receiving was led by Jameson Williams, but Isaac Tesla caught the touchdown. And defensively, yeah, Jack Campbell got sacked. Allah Quadim Muhammad had 3 sacks. Almon McNeil had a sack, and it was just smash mouth football all over again for the Detroit Lions. Next game up, next game up, we got. I'm sorry about this. It's like my laptop, for some reason, was acting really weird. But anyway, next game up, we got the Titans and the Browns, and this actually game was really fun to watch. I didn't watch all of it because I was watching the Packers game, but still, Cam Ward was okay. He had 117 yards with 2 touchdowns and interception. Tony Pollard was the star of the show with 2 touchdowns, but 161 yards rushing. Receiving touchdowns was caught by Chimere Deke and Alec Onomana. And defensively, they got to Shador Sanders twice in this game. Jeffrey Simmons and Jalen Harrell and Xavier Woods caught the interception. For the Browns, I mean, Shador was okay in this game. I mean, he had 364 yards passing and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Rushing was led by Shador Sanders with a touchdown, but receiving was led by Harold Fan Jr. with 114 yards and a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy had 76 yards receiving. And defensively, I mean, Myles Garrett got a sack. Myles Garrett got a sack, and Devin Bush got the interception, but it just wasn't enough. Next game up, I don't know why my laptop is doing this to me on this night. So, but anyway, peeking at the next game, we got the Seahawks and the Falcons, and this game was ugly real quick. I mean, look at this, 37-9. Whenever we see that. As for the Seahawks go, Sam Darnold was solid, 249 yards passing and 3 touchdowns and an interception. He was sacked twice. Running game was shut down, unfortunately, with Zach Charbonnet with 46 yards rushing. Jackson Smith-Njigba did not put up 100 yards, but he did put up 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp caught the touchdown, and defensively, I mean, you got contributions from everybody. Devin Witherspoon, Nick Amari, Wannery, had 2 interceptions. All right. DeMarcus Lawrence had a forced fumble. Devin Witherspoon got the forced fumble, and Rashid Shaheed caught like a kick return for a touchdown to start the second half of this game. As for the Falcons, I mean this was not fun if you're a Falcons fan. I mean, I would probably watch maybe the Hawks if I think they were playing that day, but the Hawks if that was going on. But Kirk Cousins did not look good. 162 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Run game was non-existent with Bijan Robinson with 86 yards. Receiving was led by Kyle Pitts with 90 yards, and Mike Hughes caught the lone interception, but it just wasn't enough for the Falcons. Next game up, we got this. We got another fun game. We got the Colts and the Jags. Wait, no, this is what for Colts and the Jags. And honest to God, feels like the Indiana sports gods are not feeling too great. I mean, you got Daniel Jones that's 5 for 7 for 60 yards and an interception. He did leave with a torn Achilles. It just sucks, man. And then you got Riley Leonard, who was okay, but he had threw himself an interception and was also sacked. Rushing was led by Jonathan Taylor with 74 yards and a touchdown, along with Riley Leonard, who got his first touchdown. Congrats, by the way. Receiving was led by Alex Pierce with 80 yards, and defensively, I mean, it just seems like this team couldn't do anything other than the fumble from Grover Stewart and Jermaine Pratt. It was non-existent. As for the Jags, I mean, Trevor was solid in this game with 244 yards passing and two touchdowns. Rushing was led by Travis Etienne with two touchdowns and 74 yards rushing. The touchdowns were caught by Tim Pratchett and Jacoby Myers. And defensively, Greg Newsome had an interception. And of course, Josh Hines got the sack. Why am I not surprised? Next game up. Why do you do this to me every time? It's obnoxious. You know, we got the Commanders and the Vikings, probably the most surprising game of the week. Jay Daniels was not good with 78 yards passing, an interception, and sack. He did leave the game with a elbow injury, which kind of sucks because I don't know. Anyway, Marcus Mariota, 2 for 4, 30 yards, interception, and a sack. Rushing game was lousy with Chris Rodriguez for 52 yards. Terry McLaurin was quiet in this game with 41 yards receiving. And defense, other than Bobby Wagner and Von Miller, and of course, Will Harris and Deron Payne, this defense was non existent in this game. As for the Vikings, this was probably J.J. McCarthy's best game of his career. All right, 163 yards, three touchdowns. Run game was non-existent, but were solid with Aaron Jones with 76 yards rushing. Jordan Mason caught the rushing touchdown. Receiving touchdowns was caught by Josh Oliver and TJ Hawkinson. And defensively, like I said, they couldn't do anything. Jalen Redmond caught a sack. Eric Wilson got a sack. Harrison Smith caught an interception. And Andrew Van Ginkel caught an interception. It was just an ugly game for the Commanders fans. Next game up, we got the Dolphin. We got arguably the most, I guess, another surprising game of the weekend, I believe. And that was the Bengals and the Bills. I actually watched majority of this game, believe it or not, before I had to leave for something. But you got Joe Burrow, who had 284 yards passing and four touchdowns and two picks. Those two picks were ugly, by the way. Run game was actually pretty solid in this game. Samaje Perine was solid. Chase Brown was solid with 23 yards rushing. Receiving was led by T. Higgins with two touchdowns and 92 yards receiving. Mike Gesicki caught a touchdown. Chase Brown also caught a receiving touchdown. And defensively, I mean, defensively, the offense first half, well, they were amazing, but then they just couldn't capitalize. Geno Stone got sacks. TJ Slayton had a sack. BJ Hill had a sack, but it just wasn't enough, man. As for the Bills, I mean, Josh Allen was solid as well with 251 yards passing and three touchdowns. He also ran it in for a touchdown. Receiving was led by Dawson Knox, but Dalton Kincaid had a touchdown. Khalil Shakir had a touchdown. And defensively, they couldn't do anything other than Christian Benford's like pick six and AJ Ebenesa. But as the saying goes, big time players make big time plays, and that's what the Bills did. Next game up, we got. I have to look. I don't know why my Safari is acting weird right now, you guys. I apologize if you're watching this at home and wondering like, why are you just going back and forth, man? I'm sorry. Next game up, we got the shocker. I know I said for the Command, but this was another shocker. Saints and the Bucks. I mean, look at this. Tyler Shaw had 141 yards passing, an interception, and three sacks. Rushing was led by Devin Neal with one touchdown. Tyler Shaw had two touchdowns. Receiving was led by Devon Vale with 40 yards receiving. And defensively, I mean, outside of Alontae Taylor's interception, they couldn't do anything. As for the Bucks, I mean, Baker Mayfield was not good in this game. He had 122 yards passing and a touchdown interception. Bucky Irvin was kind of shut down in this game with 55 yards rushing. Sean Tucker had a rushing touchdown. Bucky Irvin did catch a receiving touchdown. Defensively, and outside of their Vita Vea, Chris Braswell and of course Zion McCollum with the interception, they couldn't do anything. So it was kind of the shocker of the week. Next game up, we have my God, why is my Google acting like this? Let me see if I can refresh it. There we go. Much better. The Steelers and the Ravens, and I said this game was gonna be close, but I got the outcome wrong. For the Steelers, I mean, as I told my dad, he and I are both A-Rod fans. Aaron probably had his best game of the season, in my opinion. I know I said that a lot, but this was truly his best game of the season. 284 yards passing and a touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell had a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by DK Metcalf with 148 yards receiving. Jalen Warren did kept the receiving touchdown. And defensively, Alex Highsmith saved the day with that game-winning sack. And James Pierre had an interception along with Brendan Eccles with the sack as well. As for the Ravens, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar was not that good. 219 yards passing, a touchdown interception. I mean, Lamar, he ran it in for a touchdown. Zay Flowers had 124 yards passing, but their defense couldn't do anything. And it's been a recurring pattern with this Ravens team. I don't even know what to make of it. Next game up, we got the Dolphins and the Jets, and probably the biggest, probably the, I don't know what to say about this game, but Tua was okay in this game. I mean, he had 127 yards passing and a touchdown, and he was also sacked. Jalen Wright had probably his best game as a Dolphin with 170 yards rushing and a touchdown. Devon Achane was shut down with 92 yards rushing and a touchdown. Ollie Gordon had a touchdown. Receiving was led by Jalen Waddle with a touchdown. And defensively, I mean, their defense played a hell of a game. I mean, they got, let me see, 3.5, 4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6 sacks in this game, and interception was caught by my boy Rasul Douglas and Tyrell Dodson. As for the Jets, man, I mean, what can you say, man? This game was ugly real fast. I mean, 163 yards for Brady Cook, 2 interceptions, and was sacked 6 times. Tyrod Taylor left the game. He had 60 yards and an interception. Rushing game was lousy with Breece Hall with 43 yards. Mason Taylor was solid with 51 yards receiving, and their defense, outside Quincy Williams, could not do anything. Next game up, we got the Broncos and the Raiders. And honest to God, I'm really starting to worry about this Broncos team just because this team has been playing a lot of close games. As you can see here, Bo Nix was solid, 212 yards passing and 3 sacks. RJ Harvey was solid with 75 yards rushing and a touchdown. Bo Nix also ran it in for a touchdown. Receiving was led by Cortland Sutton with 62 yards, and defensively, they were a menace as always. Nick Bonito with 2 sacks, Malcolm Roach with a sack, John Franklin's-Meyer with the sack, and actually shout out Marvin Mims for the punt return touchdown. But yeah, that was it for the Broncos. As for the Raiders, I mean, this was not good at all. Gino with 116 yards passing and a touchdown and 3 sacks. Kenny Pickett came in with 97 yards passing and a touchdown. He was also sacked. Ashton Genty was shut down with 30 yards rushing. Receiving was led by Jack Beach with 50 yards. Brock Bowers got on the score sheet with 46 yards and a touchdown. Shedrick Jackson had a receiving touchdown. And defensively, I mean, Jeremy Chin had a sack. Max Crosby had a sack. Tanaka Henui had a sack, but it just wasn't enough. Next up, we got the Cardinals and the Rams. And honest to God, this game was ugly. I mean, look at this. 22 of 31 for 281 yards, 3 touchdowns for Matthew Stafford. Blake Corum had his best game as a Ram with 128 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams also had a rushing touchdown. Receiving was led by Puka Nacua with 2 touchdowns and 164 yards, 7 yards receiving. Kobe Parkinson had the other touchdown, and their defense was crazy. Cameron Curl with a sack, Byron Young with a sack, and Kobe Turner with a sack. And of course, Nate Landman had the interception. As for the Cardinals, I mean, Jacoby Brissett was solid in this game. He had 270 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Run game was non-existent with 22 yards rushing out of Jacoby Brissett. Receiving was led by Michael Wilson with 142 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. And defensively, I mean, they couldn't do anything, which is kind of shocking. Next game up, oh yes. We got America's game of the week right here, folks. The Bears and the Packers, game 1 of the regular season. I got a couple things to say. First of all, Bears fans, As much as I hate you guys, hell of a game, man. Hell of a game. All right, but you guys, the refs nearly cost the Packers this game. I watched this full game for 60 minutes. There was a lot of bullshit calls. I even texted one of my good friends. All right, he's also a fellow Packers fan. My friend Aiden Lowers, or if I could find where to text me, I texted him, "Dog, the refs in this game are absolutely atrocious." He said, "Yes, they are," and he's like, and then we talked for a little bit. We got excited. He's like, "Where did the league find these refs so awful, man?" So yeah, it was a pretty gruesome game. But anyway. Caleb Williams was solid with 186 yards passing and two touchdowns and interception. He did get sacked though. Run game was shut down with DeAndre Swift with 63 yards. Receiving was led by Luther Burton with 67 yards, but Colston Loveland and Alamade Zacchaeus cut the receiving touchdown. CJ Gardner Johnson had an interception. Montez Sweat had a sack, but again, the better team won in this game. As for the Packers, I mean, Jordan Love was great in this game, 234 yards passing and three touchdowns and interception. He was sacked. Josh Jacob was a menace with 86 yards rushing and a touchdown. Receiving was led by Christian Watson with two touchdowns and 89 yards. Bo Melton had a touchdown, and defensively, Kingsley Mbari had the sack, but also shout out Keyshawn Nixon for the game-winning interception. And finally, we got two games that I'm going to call the boring games of the weekend, which were the Texans and the Chiefs. I mean, you got CJ Stroud with 203 yards passing and a touchdown. He was sacked three times. Jaquavius Marks had 68 yards rushing. All right. Dare Ogulumai had a rushing touchdown in this game. Receiving was led by Nico Collins, who seemed to be getting open every single time with 120 yards passing, receiving. And defensively, I mean, as I predicted, this was going to be an ugly game. I mean, Tommy Toga had a sack. Sheldon Rankins had a half a sack in this game. Dinoka Autry had half a sack. And Azil Al-Shir had an interception. Jalen Petrie had an interception. Kamari Lassiter had an interception. And it was all, that's all she was, folks. As for the Chiefs, man, I mean, this game was ugly. You got Mahomes with 160 yards passing and three interceptions and two sacks. Run game was non-existent with Mahomes going for 59 yards. Kareem Hunt did get a rushing touchdown in this game. Receiving was led by Xavier Worthy with 55 yards. And defensively, outside of George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, and is it this Ashton Guilty and Jerry Tiller, they couldn't do anything about it. Next, and finally, the nightcap. We got the Eagles and the Chargers. And honest to God, I actually watched the majority of this game, and I'm not gonna lie. I told this to my mom yesterday. I'm so glad that I did not give my brother this game because this game was boring. I mean, look at this. Jalen Hurts, 240 yards passing, four interceptions. Four. Saquon Barkley with 122 yards and a touchdown. Receiving was led by A.J. Brown with 100 yards receiving. Defensively, I mean, their defense was the reason why they hung in there. Jalen Hunt had two and a half sacks. Jordan Davis had sacks. N'Kobe Dean had a sack. Byron Young had a sack. And then, of course, N'Kobe Dean had an interception. Jalen Hux had a no. Dory Jackson had an interception. Jalen Hutz had a forced fumble. N'Kobe Dean had a forced fumble. Byron Young received for a fumble. It just was ass. And then we got the Chargers, man. Justin Herbert was okay in this game with 139 yards passing and a touchdown and interception. He was sacked seven times, which is nuts. Rushing was led by Justin Herbert once again. Was led by Justin Herbert with 66 yards rushing. Kamani Vidal had 60 receiving yards. And Tony Jefferson and Cam Hart and Dashawn Hand and, of course, Dante Jackson both caught the interception. So that's it for my Week 15, 14 NFL recap. So now we're going to bring into our next segment and discuss about the Colts bringing in Phillip Rivers. Because as many of you guys know or may not know, they lost Daniel Jones for the season with a torn Achilles. And I said it once and I'll say it again in my intro. They're idiots. All right. First of all, Phillip Rivers has not played a single game in about 4, almost 5 years. All right. I don't like Phil. I'm not hating on Phillip Rivers. I think he's a great quarterback. But this dude is ancient. All right. Like, I think I saw on Instagram earlier today, his son is as old as the one of the Colts quarterback. I think it's Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard at 23 years old. That is nuts. All right, and all right, and now I know people are gonna say like, "Oh, kid, you're still hating on Phillip Rivers, man." But let me tell you this. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This is the Colts' last four games of the season. Okay, and this is who Phillip Rivers might have to play against. Okay, let me pull up my phone here for this. Okay, this is the Colts' remaining schedule, and you tell me right now if this is not a gauntlet or not. This is their schedule. Okay, you got at Seattle, which let me remind everybody, Seattle's a very tough place to play against. Home to San Francisco, Jacksonville game two, and Houston at Houston for game two. You're telling me you're willing to risk all your success to a guy who's like ancient. Not to mention the fact that you're going up against four of the best defenses in the NFL. I don't know, man. I'm gonna pray to God that the Colts find a way to win these games because it's not gonna be easy. So yeah. So those are my thoughts about the Colts signing Phillip Rivers to their practice squad. I know it was kind of brief. It's like already 11 o'clock right now, so I'm a little bit tired. All right. Now moving on to our quick segment, we're going to briefly talk about this. All right, and that's JJ McCarthy. All right. And if you haven't known already, now you know JJ McCarthy has received a lot of criticism on social media and on sports shows. Because everyone's saying, oh, the Vikings made a dumb choice on letting Sam Darnold go and stuff like that. And if you look on his Instagram, I don't know if I actually haven't read his comments yet. They're like pretty harsh, you know. Let me see if I can find this, you know. Let me actually find this. Um, let me see if I can find the comment for this what is it? JJ McCarthy's Instagram, okay? This is like some of the comments he has received. He has over 3,500 comments. Hey nine, you are awful at football. Best wide receiver in your team, and you can't do anything about it. All right. Let me see if I can. Nine turnovers a game. You're not good at sports. Just retire, please. Three INTs and calling yourself nine. Worst quarterback league and it's not close. Carson with a bum shoulder plays better than you. Um, Bro had 5 sacks and only 70 passing yards halfway through the fourth quarter. Can't wait till you're gone. You know, and all these stuffs. All right. And look, I'm not the type of person that reads Instagram comments like I just did, but look, give this dude a break. All right. I love what Jason Garrett said on the Football Night America podcast. The kid's young. All right. Give him some time. He's 22, 23 years old. That is young for a quarterback. All right. Has he been disappointing? Yes, he has been disappointing. But this is his first full year starting. All right. I say next year, if he doesn't play well, I think the Vikings need to get a quarterback in next year's draft. All right. I think he is still good. All right. You just need to give him some time, man. All right. And we saw against the Commanders. I know the Commanders have not been good this year, but he at least played his best game, as I said. All right. So give him some time. So those are my thoughts on JJ McCarthy. Let me know in the comment section below if you think the Vikings need to draft a quarterback in next year's draft. So now we're going to get into our week 15. I know it's crazy. Week 15 NFL picks for this week. Last week was actually a pretty solid week for me. I went 9-6, I believe I went 9-6 this week, 8-6 this week, and I'm not going to even guess what my record is because right now it looks pretty good. So let's start with Thursday Night Football, the Falcons and the Bucks. Two teams that desperately need a win, and I'm going to roll with the Buccaneers here to win this game 27-23. The only way I can see the Buccaneers win this game is if Bijan Robinson plays well and they protect Kirk Cousins. And I don't see that happening because the Bucks rush defense is still one of the best in the business. Next game up, we got the Commanders and the Giants. Game two. I'm gonna take the Commanders to win this game 27 to 20. I think the Giants are gonna keep it close because Jackson Dart has been balling out this year, but I gotta roll with the better team here, despite not having their quarterback QB1. Give me the Commanders to win this game 27 to 20. Next game up, we got the Chargers and the Chiefs. Game two. I'm going to roll with the Chargers here. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game 31-27. I think the Chiefs are going to probably play their best game because their backs are against the wall, but I just don't think they have enough time to gel right now. Give me the Chargers to win this game 31-27. Next game up, we got the Cardinals and the Texans. Oh my God, this is a massacre. Texans win 38 to 10, man. No said. Ravens and Bengals. Jesus Christ, this is a good one. I guess you could call this my upset pick. I guess. I don't know. Give me the Bengals, man. All right. They the only way, like I said before, and I'll say it again, the only way the Bengals can win this game is if they run the football. All right. I know they have Jamar Chase. I know they have T. Higgins, but run the football and you have a chance of beating the Ravens. Give me the Bengals to win this game 28-27. I think this is gonna be a very close game. Browns and Bears, a very good one. I am gonna have to take the Bears though to win this game. I do expect Cleveland to keep it close because they've been playing really well with Shador as their quarterback. Give me the team that has the more talented offense in the Bears, 27-24. Next game up, we got the Bills and the Patriots. Game two. I'm going to take the Bills here, as crazy as that sounds. I'm going to take the Bills to win this game 23-20. I think this is going to be a very close game, but I trust Josh Allen more and James Cook to get it done than I do with Drake May. I know Drake's been balling, but give me the Bills. Raiders and Eagles. I mean, is this even a question? Give me the Eagles to win this game, man. 27-13. All right. Jets and Jaguars. Give me the Jaguars, man. They've been balling out this year. Give me the Jags to win this game 27-17. Colts and Niners. Yeah, give me the Niners, man. 35-17 is going to be the final score of this game. Panthers and Saints. This is going to be a good one. Carolina, do not mess this up, man. Give me Carolina to win this game 23-17. I expect Bryce Young to have a good game. I expect Torrey McMillan to have a good game. Give me the Panthers. Lions and Rams. America's game of the week right here. Give me the Rams to win this game in the highest scoring game of the weekend, 38-35. This is going to be a back and forth affair, but give me the Rams to win this game in a close one. Colts and Seahawks, like I said, the Seahawks are going to win this game 27-10. I do not trust that Colts offense, especially without a quarterback. Packers and Broncos. I hate this game with the burning passion. I guess I got to roll with my boys here. 27-24. This is going to be a very close game, but I trust my Packers offense to get it done. Next game up, we got the Vikings and the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys to win this game. 31-20. I expect the Vikings to keep it close, but I trust Dak Prescott more than I trust JJ McCarthy. And the nightcap, Dolphins and Steelers. I know the Dolphins have been playing well, but give me the Steelers to win this game 31-20. I expect Aaron to have a really good game in this game. I expect DK Metcalf to have a good game. I think the Dolphins are going to play close, but give me the Steelers to win this game 31-20. And those are my Week 15 NFL predictions. So what are you guys' thoughts on this week's episode of On the Sideline? If you did enjoy it, please give a like, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday and the rest of this week. Stay safe and stay warm out there because it's getting cold right now here in the U.S. because it's winter time. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.